Hi, welcome to this FIWARE Academy course in the scope of the cloud hosting chapter and specifically regarding the self-service interfaces cloud portal generic enabler. This is the first lesson of this course, and I'm going to introduce you why we need the cloud portal generic enabler in FIWARE and which are the main functionalities that you can perform using the cloud portal, the graphical user interface that we provide in the cloud portal. Finally, I will explain you how this FIWARE course will work. Okay. So the first thing is to try to understand why we need the cloud portal in the cloud hosting chapter. Okay. As you know, cloud hosting in FIWARE is totally based on OpenStack project. So this is the architecture that OpenStack provide in his documentation, and as you can see, basically the environment is based on a set of services that can be accessible for using a dashboard that OpenStack also provides. That is the OpenStack dashboard that is called Horizon project. Okay, but in FIWARE cloud hosting chapter, we are providing extra components apart of the main components that OpenStack provides by default. Okay, we are providing the PaaS manager component that is in charge of managing complex applications. We also provide a wrapper on top of the keystone component. We are providing KeyRock, that is a generic enabler that offer some extensions, a part of the main functionalities of the identity provider that OpenStack provides. We also provide the SDC component that is in charge of installing and configuring products inside the virtual machines. And we, for instance, also provide a monitoring component that is in charge of getting information from the running virtual machines in order to display them to the users. So, as we are providing additional components that OpenStack does not provide by default, we need another user interface in order to allow the users and the developers the access to these new resources. So, Cloud Portal is a graphical user interface that allows you to manage all the resources that OpenStack offers by default, and also a set of services that we are providing in FIWARE. Okay, these 4 services are only an example of some of them. We also have this FIWARE Lab environment in which we are providing OpenStack installations in several points, in several nodes among Europe and also in USA. So in USA and also in America. So in order to manage all the things that we need to federate the identity among these services and so on, we also need an interaction between this cloud portal and the identity part of the FIWARE. In order to do this interaction, we also need to customize some things in the service, in the graphical user interface. Okay. So, what are the main functionalities that the cloud portal offer a user, and the main functionalities that I'm going to show you in this FIWARE course? The first thing is, of course, the account part. That, yes, this part is not properly managed by the cloud portal, but is so close to the identity identity manager, and we will show you some things that are related. You can also, of course, access the compute service of OpenStack, that is the component in charge of creating virtual machines and managing all the things that you need in order to manage virtual machines. We will also see how the monitoring part works, how to deploy and configure software inside virtual machines. In order to do so, we need this service development and configuration component. I will also show you how to manage storage inside the virtual machines, both using volumes and using containers in Swift component of OpenStack. We also see how to configure advanced services using tiers and blueprints in this component, in the PES manager component, and we also take a look at the network service of OpenStack in order to configure networks, subnetworks, ports, routers, and so on inside virtual machines. How this course will proceed? Okay, so the lessons will be basically a live tutorial in which, using my computer, I will show you how to use the graphical interface in order to perform these basic actions. But before of each demo, I will provide you some main concepts that you need in order to understand the concepts, the procedure, and also some guidelines that will be useful for you when you start playing with this component. Okay, I also provide you documentation regarding the things that we have learned in each lesson. And for instance, in this one, I give you here the links to the main page, the main documentation site regarding this generic enabler. Also the source code that is, of course, published in GitHub, and the specific documentation, the advanced documentation, where you will find the installation guide, the user guide, and so on. Okay, so that's all in this first introductory lesson. Many thanks, and see you in the next one. Bye.